Always honest, often blunt, and never afraid. This is The Narrative. My name is Aaron Bear, and I'm president of Center for Christian Virtue. Here with my co-host of The Narrative, David Mahan, our policy director here at CCV. Excited to talk to you about this upcoming volume of The Narrative. We just wrapped a few weeks ago Volume 1, where we dove deep into the topic of race and had some amazing guests come on and unpack this issue from all different sides and broke up the common narrative we hear around race today and the racial debates and the racial divides we have in our country. And we got some amazing feedback, especially from folks in ministry who are trying to figure out this issue with all the different divisiveness surrounding that issue. And so as we're looking at how do we continue to build on that momentum, build on bringing some real value to people like you that are listening and trying to figure out this world, there was a lot of different ways we could go with it, David.
Yeah, we looked at, policing. We looked at education, law enforcement, even had, Mr. Woodson come in and give us, a broad perspective of the difference between civil rights movement of his day and the civil rights movement of today. It was really, really rich. But I think, going into this series, it's still kind of playing on that oppressor versus oppressors mentality that we were kind of touching on with the last series.
Yeah. And that's why there was a lot of different ways we wanted to go with this, but we ultimately decided we really wanted to jump into the topic of Marxism and communism. And it's one of those things, especially in Christian circles, is not talked a lot about. A lot of times this comes out in economics classes or things like that. But for Christians, we don't think a lot about Marxism, but so much of the topics that we have today, so much of the debates we have today have their roots in this age-old debate around Marxism, which is so much more than just economics, which is so much more than just whether the government programs. And so I'm really looking forward to unpacking this. We have some amazing guests lined up that we'll share with you as the days come. But as we're looking around the world right now, this is one of the predominant topics that people are dealing with.
Yeah, and I think for those of us coming from the faith community, sometimes you're hearing folks talk about socialism and communism, but what it really does is get to what is the root of human suffering? Mm-hmm. What is really the cause of the striving amongst us? And, having this conversation will kind of help us get to the root of that, even from a biblical worldview.
That's right. And so we hope that you're excited as we are for this next volume. The next episode will be coming out next week. The first episode of Volume 2 will be out next week. So be sure that you subscribe to The Narrative on wherever you get your podcasts. I listen to mine on Apple Podcasts. But if you got Google Play, wherever you go, subscribe there. Like and rate and leave a comment. Those types of things really help help the podcast reach more people, and we're looking forward to hearing from these amazing guests to dive into this important issue of Marxism on the upcoming volume of The Narrative.